he's played 13 games already in a row.
You know, but his performance has not looked like it's fallen off. If anything, he's sharpening his skills. He's warming up. He's maybe playing at his peak right now.
All right, if you're just tuning in, welcome to DragonCon 2022. This is our grand finals of the Smash Ultimate Singles. We've got Jahhz0 on the Ken versus ScAtt on the Snake from loser side bracket. ScAtt has played some number, probably double digits at this point, of games in a row, and he's just getting right back into it. He had about a 45-second break, and he's facing the Jahhz0, who hasn't dropped a set yet.
Yeah, and we're about to be in for a great match. ScAtt starting things off with a lot of pressure with these grenades, really keeping Ken out. Ken got the C4 on him now, but just holding the shield, and nothing coming off of that C4.
Yeah.
Jahhz0 is a little cold, ScAtt's a little warm, and this kind of, at least on paper, can look like a hard matchup for Ken, where there's so many, projectiles. Ken, not a character with like amazing ways of getting in.
Yeah, Ken's neutral is notoriously, difficult for approaching, and I'm not sure how we got FD as the option. But I mean, ScAtt knows every stage. ScAtt has adaptations for every single stage. But all it takes for Jahhz0 is to get in twice. He needs two good interactions, and then ScAtt's in kill percentage. Jahhz0's at 171%. He's obviously a kill percentage. I didn't think that the crawl would come into place as much as it did, but
it's coming into play.
Yeah, being able to crawl into the Hadouken is not only hilarious but very useful. It's Cuphead again. We're playing a platformer. He's just dodging.
And ScAtt has a little bit easier game to play. He just has to press one button, the duck button. But Jahhz0, when he gets in, that Shoryuken can kill so early, looking like it could have killed there, but not quite the right percent.
Ooh, just missed Shoryuken, so hard to punish.
Optimal punish with that up tilt. That'll take the stock, no problem.
Yeah, Jahhz0, though, only needs one interaction to even this back up, and so what's your game plan of ScAtt? Keep your distance, rack up the percentage.
Jahhz0 looking like he's using ScAtt's grenades.
And there it is. He evened it right back up, and ScAtt, unfortunately, not able to keep the distance for long enough to rack up some damage, and so it's basically even game once again.
Yeah, and Jahhz0's trying so hard to stay on this Snake. He knows that if he gives Snake any space to start setting up grenades, it's going to be much, much harder for him to get in. Now here we have neutral, and Jahhz0's got to think, how's he going to get in, especially with the C4 place where it is.
Yeah, absolutely. The Hadoukens are not an optimal way to get in. You don't have that option really anymore. But what you can do is you can keep ScAtt on the edge of the stage, and you keep him off stage as long as possible, so that you have options to approach. He's only got so many recovery options, and you'll be close enough.
Yeah, and we're not seeing like ScAtt be too crazy with throwing out these grenades. He's being pretty controlled with them. I think he knows that if he starts, throwing out too many, Ken's just gonna run in there and deal some damage. Oh, an aggressive recovery. Oh, could have gotten punished, but not quite.
Unfortunately, used the back air a little bit too early, but roundhouse kick is going to take it.
Yeah.
112% on Jahhz0, and Jahhz0's game plan is pretty much the same as anybody's would be. Rack up some damage before you lose your stock. 112%, there's not a lot of options but beyond a hard punish that ScAtt can kill you at this percentage with. He needs to still rack up some more damage. This game is in Jahhz0's hands, and it's Jahhz0's to lose.
Yeah, and we're seeing ScAtt plant the C4 on Ken so much. I'm not sure if that's matchup-specific thing or a player-specific thing where he just is that confident of when they're going to shield, but he hasn't gotten anything off of it. Jahhz0's done a good job of being aware of that and holding shield, not letting anything crazy happen.
Yeah, Jahhz0 using the focus attack sparingly because the movement out of focus attack is going to be fairly punishable by Snake and all of his projectiles on the stage, but he's still using it, which is important. Jab, Shoryu is going to take it for game one. That's a tough place to be. You cannot be a stock down against Jahhz0's Ken.
Yeah, and just think every game that Jahhz0 wins is an extra game that ScAtt's got to play. But I am confident in his ability to adapt here. He's going to get the stage counter pick. I don't see us going back to FD.
I have to imagine, depending on what the bans are, I know we'd like to see a Smashville if you're ScAtt, and you generally don't want to see anything that doesn't give you vertical space to play with.
Yeah. Probably going to be bans FD Kalos FD, I would guess.
Yeah, I can see Kalos being okay for him. We've seen Jahhz0 successfully approach people on the Kalos platforms, but ScAtt being able to set up the edge guards on the Kalos platforms, as well as being able to use the platforms to for his own recovery, not having to worry too much about Cypher getting gimped.
Yeah.
But the other issue is not having an underneath stage to mix up your Cypher recoveries. It makes Kalos kind of difficult. So we're going to go to the next best thing. Hollow Bastion isn't an option, sadly. Hollow Bastion, Smashville would have been a nice pairing, and then also I can't remember the other one. That's Kalos.
This is kind of like a bit of an old school list. I think it's got Yoshi's, and I think it might have Lylat.
It does. It does have Lylat. Maybe that's been banned at the time.
I have not seen anyone ever go to Lylat.
That's a good point. I haven't seen Lylat yet. And ScAtt said that he's a kind of a fan of Lylat. So
really?
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see that one come out. But regardless, we've seen the switch to the Sephiroth going to PS2.
Yeah. And he got his he got his character pick and his stage pick. So let's see what he can do with it.
Yeah.
Gonna get a punish here. Nothing big, not quite enough percentage where that's true.
This is kind of what we've seen with ScAtt every time that he's played against these close-range players, is that he switched to Sephiroth for at least one game to see how the match plays out. And usually it's fairly close, but I don't think I don't know if he's taken one yet with Sephiroth. But this is definitely the place to be, right? I think he took one game against Sunito with Sephiroth, but you want to test your waters while you're only one game down.
Well, he took those games against Abe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like his Sunito was cooking, or his Sephiroth was cooking against Abe.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that this Sephiroth could kind of go crazy, honestly.
Yeah, good back air to take the stock. Obviously, ScAtt is in kill percentage, and so Jahhz only needs one interaction to get the kill, but what you want to do if you're ScAtt, obviously rack up the percentage from a safe distance and mix up how you are approaching so that you don't get punished. And if you're Jahhz0, you want to approach as safely as possible, not get impatient. You had to eat it there. If you didn't eat it, your shield is broken, you're definitely dead. So it was a good choice to eat it, but the missed space for you.
Yeah. And then look at how patient Jahhz0 was, because ScAtt re-grabbed there, and then Jahhz0 didn't panic, didn't try and run off and do anything crazy. He knew that at a certain point in time, Jahhz0 is going to have to pick an option to get off the ledge, and he wants to be ready to punish that instead of trying to go off the ledge himself.
ScAtt doing a great job of keeping his distance, making sure that Jahhz0 is never in advantage state against him as often as possible. Almost hit up the shield. But doing a great job playing so incredibly patiently and just knowing that he has to rack up damage. He does not have to go for the kill, and he does not need to get aggressive. All he needs to do is keep distance, and the second that he does it, he's going to get killed, which is fine. He's got 84% on lock, but that's only 2 interactions from Jahhz0.
Yeah. Look at ScAtt just kind of dashing back. He knows Jahhz is going to be approaching. He needs to stuff it out, but he's on ledge now, trying to figure out how to recover.
He needs to get back to the center of the stage.
That is so important.
This is essentially what we have is a quarter of the stage here now, and Jahhz0 is dominating it. So we need to get more of the stage back in play if you're ScAtt.
If you're playing in that tight a space, you do not want to be Sephiroth versus Ken. You have such a long sword as Sephiroth. You want space to swing it, or Ken's not just gonna kick you around.
Yeah, and we're back to an even game. I mean, this is a really bad place to be if you're ScAtt. You have kill options, yes, at earlier percentages, but Jahhz0 has kill confirms, and it doesn't take a read to do that. It doesn't take playing out of his mind to do that. It just takes one approach, and all it takes is for you to make one small mistake that leaves you open for 5 frames.
Yep, that's exactly right. Oh, trying to put on pressure on the shield, and
good DI. Very corner of the blast zone.
Yep. How is he going to recover? A little bit of an aggressive recovery. Good job of mixing it up.
Good waiting out the focus attack, but that time he couldn't. He had to try.
Oh,
Tatsumaki.
The Tatsu. Wow, these two players just staring each other down in that ledge situation.
Yeah, Jahhz0 is going to use a focus attack to try to get back to off the platforms because he cannot be up there if he wants any chance of fighting ScAtt. Great focus attack. Wow. Ooh, tried to follow it. Good patience, knowing that the shield's not going to get broken by the roundhouse kick. Needing to parry that because of how low your shield is, but unfortunately, great waiting out the counter from Jahhz0. Roundhouse to kill. Wow, okay, this is a good setup. Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted to see.
Yes, sir.
Great stuff from ScAtt to wait that one out, but this is a tough place to be. This is a really, really close game. Jahhz0 needs fewer interactions than Sephiroth does to get the kills, so ScAtt needs to play patient, and he needs to play far. He needs to get away.
Yeah, we were talking about that, the advantage that Sephiroth has at that mid-range. He wants to take advantage of that, but both of these players playing so patiently, just waiting to react, which is what really kind of both players need to do. The game of chicken of, who's going to start throwing out things first is very, very important.
Yeah. Absolutely, but even with as much time as ScAtt has spent distancing himself, Jahhz0 has spent just as much time getting like 2 or 3 hits to even up the damage. Oh, this is a rough place to be.
Yeah.
And that's going to be game 2.
Jahhz0 with 2 games, and ScAtt at this point, he's got to win 3 games in a row just to reset, and then he's got a whole nother set in front of him.
Yeah, the counter pick stage was fine. And the counter pick character select was also okay, and it did fare better than Snake. Here's the issue. I think we're starting to see that ScAtt recognizes he needs to play a character or needs to have a reliable way to secure a kill against Ken.
Yeah.
Some way either to set up a kill confirm at earlier percentages or to keep advantage state for a long amount, like for a long time. And unfortunately, he doesn't have characters like that.
Yes,
he has, he has a Snake which, given the right stage selection, it can maybe hold advantage state for fairly well, but. You don't have any sort of kill confirms at high percentages, so few interactions are going to allow Ken to kill you. And then he's got Sephiroth, which, yes, is better for like keeping your distance, and you have better options for killing, but you still have to have so many interactions to do so.
Exactly right. And Seph has some confirms, neutral air can set up into, either back air or forward air, but that requires either your opponent DIing well or being at just like the right, the perfect percents for that to actually work out. And then Seph also, one thing that we saw, was it Ave was doing a pretty good job of, stepping out of the Ken recovery with like, Flood and some other stuff. Sephiroth, he's going to be ledge trapping. He's not going to be ledge guarding. He's going to be trying to set stuff up. And Ken's recovering is one of his weak spots, and so he needs to figure out a way to take advantage of that.
Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time in the tournament that we've seen on stage where Battlefield is being played.
I think so too. Definitely the first time since we've been commentating.
Yeah, and so this is interesting, right? It's definitely, there is space here for Snake to do really well, but Jahhz0 has shown proficiency in being able to play on the platforms, and you do not want to get shoryu'd from any of the platforms because you'll die at 60.
Especially the top platform, that tall platform, oh man, and Jahhz0's looking for it. So this is potentially, if Jahhz0 cleans this up, that's the last game. He is the Dragon Con champion.
Yeah, this is the last chance for ScAtt to get back into it. Jahhz0 possibly going to take this tournament without dropping a set, and only having dropped a couple of games throughout the entire set, so we'll see how this goes. So far, very even, but unfortunately, even when your percentages, when you're playing as Snake versus Ken, not where you want to be, and that's the exact reason why. Not quite
heavy character, good DI. Wow, Jahhz0 went pretty deep there for that. You don't normally see Snakes, you don't normally see Kens go out there for that, because it can put them in a position like this where they're, forced to recover, but Jahhz0 navigating his way back on stage.
Be reversing to keep the distance, crawling.
Oh, crawl action.
Yeah.
Probably the best interaction in this game, but that interaction will send Snake right into the top blast zone.
Yeah, Jahhz0 showing that he needs to use some different things in his moveset if he wants a chance to kill ScAtt at a more reliable way than trying to force his down tilts in. Down tilt is obviously the most reliable way, but he needs to mix it up if he wants a chance at ScAtt.
And that's one of the greatest things about seeing all these games is we've seen so many Jahhz0 games, in winners, and that's like the first time he's picked that kill option. Just shows that these players are really such high level players.
It's also the unfortunate thing about ScAtt playing so many games in a row is that he's shown a lot of his hand already.
And Jahhz0's been sitting in the audience. He's been able to watch those games, and maybe he's picking up some tips. But ScAtt's showing that he still has a lot of tricks left.
What a great missile.
He has not revealed all of his cards.
Yeah, not at all. That was a great follow. That's one of the first times we've seen, at least the first time today, that we've seen a missile follow for a good edge card.
Ooh, hair dodge away. That's not a problem for Snake. He can recover this. Oh, no.
That's tough. Just broke the Cypher right before he got to it. And he couldn't air dodge towards the stage, I don't think.
But with ScAtt's composure and his, his level of play with that forward air, up there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but we're on tournament stock for ScAtt, and we know that Jahhz0 knows how to approach, and we definitely know that Jahhz0 knows how to kill. So what we need to see here is we need ScAtt back on the front foot. We need Ken off stage. We need Jahhz0 to start eating some grenades because this is tough.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting very close to shortcome percent.
There's a C4.
Not returning things. C4 at the top platform right now. ScAtt getting blown up by his long grenades. A little unfortunate there. Sending some grenades on top platform with the C4. Getting a little stuff off. He's comboing Jahhz0 right now. Jahhz0 looking for a square hit. Oh.
Trying to keep his distance, getting the parry. Jahhz0's getting really close.
My goodness.
He only needs is one interaction. He just needs one move to hit. It can be almost any move, and that's the
it.
one. Oh, the grenade keeps him in play. ScAtt's still alive, but the Shoryu's going to take it.
Wow, and Jahhz0 is your Dragon Con champion for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Absolutely fantastic.